So it's been a little over a year since Google dropped the Pixel 3a. As of this video, it's recently been discontinued and the upcoming Pixel 4a appears to be right around the corner. While we wait to get our hands on this year's Pixel devices, I thought we'd take another look at what actually ended up becoming one of my personal favorites from 2019. This is the Google Pixel 3a 1 year later. I'm sure most of you know what this phone is all about. It was released as an alternative to all the pricey, premium, and feature-packed beasts that started in or close to the 4-digit mark. No flashy specs, no super high-end processor, no quad camera array, no massive bezel-less ultra high-res, high refresh rate display, just a clean and straightforward phone. Its design? Simple. Its software? Simple. Its feature set also simple, and its starting price $399. And I'm almost positive you had to have seen that this phone was on sale many times, even going for as low as $230. But even at $399, this phone offered up a great value overall. Now, I've used it a ton this past year, and I actually used it over the larger 3a XL, which is a little odd considering I usually prefer larger phones, but I really enjoy this phone's footprint. Sure, it is made out of plastic, it doesn't make for a very durable phone unfortunately, but I do like the coating it has and it doesn't feel like a cheap toy, and the buttons are nice and clicky and responsive as well. It's comfortable enough to where it's not a two-handed phone, but it's got a large enough display to be able to enjoy and consume content on. And call me old-fashioned, weird, crazy, whatever you want, but I still enjoy the rear-mounted fingerprint reader to this day. There's just something about being able to pull the phone out of your pocket and have it unlocked before your eyes even meet the screen. It's so convenient, especially when talking about using it to quickly access your notifications. I will admit I kind of wish some phones still had it, but that's just me. The headphone jack hung around for this one as well, and no, I didn't really use it, maybe a handful of times. I don't remember to be honest, but as always, it is a nice thing to have. The 3a also still has some of the most solid haptics out there. They might even be better than what the S20 Plus has. I may be wrong, but either way, they're still some of the best in any phone in this class. Oh, and the speakers? They're nice. Not the greatest or anything like that, but they are kind of comparable to what we get with much more expensive phones. So after using multiple 90Hz and 120Hz displays on other smartphones, going back to 60Hz definitely took some time getting used to, but overall, it's crisp, it's colorful, it doesn't get as bright as I'd like it to, there's some noticeable color shifting, and even though it's just 1080p, I never really found that to be a problem at all. It's a quality screen. As for the software, there really isn't too much to talk about here. It's good old, always up to date, pixelized Android. It's smart, it's super clean and uncluttered, and it has features like call screening and now playing I continue to miss on other phones. Android 10 runs great as well. I'm looking forward to the official release of Android 11 and all it has to offer right when it drops. Battery life has been good as well. I was able to make it through a day of moderate use quite easily. Now, heavy use was a good amount tougher, understandably so, with the battery being smaller, but it does help that the display is only 1080p. Most recently, I was able to pull in around 5 hours of screen on time, so nothing that'll really match higher end flagships, but it's not bad at all, and I've had no complaints about the battery. It's good stuff. Everyday performance was also quite solid. It's nothing to write home about, but it's also not really anything I had to worry about. So it hasn't been blazing fast, but it hasn't been laggy and slow either. And it's not like I was expecting it to slow down after just 1 year or anything like that. Now, during heavy usage, you can pretty easily make out the difference when compared to higher end phones. But the Snapdragon 670 and 4GB of RAM still managed to pull through and get the job done. Normal everyday use proved to be pretty much a non-issue, and in a nutshell, it was easy to use this phone with many other more powerful devices sitting next to me. It hasn't been perfect, it's left a little to be desired, especially in the RAM management department, but again, it was totally usable. Now, when talking about the cameras, I'm sure we all know what the Pixel cameras are all about. This is probably the main reason you'd want to consider a Pixel in the first place. As it stands right now, here in 2020, pictures still look great. I mean, come on, did we really expect anything less? Using this single camera setup after using plenty of other phones with more lenses and much more versatility, I'm still more than happy with what I get from the 3A. It's just a phenomenal point and shoot camera. I understand the added versatility with additional cameras is very much desired nowadays, and I'll admit, I do wish this phone had like an ultra wide or something, but the quality we're able to get out of this single lens with Google's image processing is a trade-off I'm actually okay with. So all in all, I really like this phone even now, and I could actually use it as my main indefinitely. I won't do that, but I could, and it's got me excited for the 4A. This phone is not flashy. There's nothing groundbreaking about it. It's not perfect, it's made out of plastic, there's no water resistance, wireless charging, expandable storage, high refresh rate display, no crazy, colorful, fancy light reflective back, no futuristic biometrics, none of that. Just the simple, basic essentials. Now the thing is, of course, different users are going to have different lists of what they consider to be essential, like, well, an official IP rating, more cameras, for example, or better video quality, or more than just 64 gigabytes of storage. So this phone may not cut it for some, but after having used the 3A amongst giants like the Note 10 Plus, OnePlus 8 Pro, S20 Plus, and others, having something as simple and inexpensive as this is kind of refreshing, to be honest. My fandom of this phone may be a bit strange to you, but you cannot argue that what you get for the price is quite good, even over a year after release. You can still find the 3A online for the same $399, and if you do some hunting, you will find it for less. We've seen more and more budget options appear, most notably and most recently from Apple and OnePlus. This smartphone tier has taken off. It's getting real competitive, and moving forward, it's only going to continue growing. So should you buy a Pixel 3A in 2020? Well, yes and no. Yes, based simply on the fact that it's still a great phone with a top tier camera, especially for some of the lower prices you'll be able to find it for. And no, because, well, the 3A's successor is right on the doorstep. In fact, by the time you watch this video, it might have already been announced. In my opinion, Google kind of nailed what they were going for here, and seeing this phone thrive in my personal experience here over a year later amongst all of the other amazing top tier flagships, it has me looking forward to what's to come. So what do you guys think of the Pixel 3A in 2020? Are you looking forward to the Pixel 4A? Let's chat down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for watching.